Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the World CIO 200 West Africa edition. I'm Sujta Khan, Project Manager at GC Media Group, and I am delighted to be your host today. With the help of industry leaders in West Africa, today we'll be taking a deeper dive into the IT trends and innovations in the region. But before that, let's hear from the CEO and co founder of GC Media Group for a quick warm welcome.
Hi everyone. Very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the viewers and all our participants for the CIO 200 Roadshow in West Africa. My name is Ronak Samantrai, co-founder and CEO of GC Media Group. Yes, this year we have a bigger CIO 200 than the last year, and we already started our journey from the North Africa this year, and which happened physically in Morocco. But now we are in West Africa, which we are doing it virtually, and we are very excited because this year we have added a lot more countries. We have added a lot more features to our features to our roadshow, and there's a lot of different dynamics which have added as well. And this year, after pandemic, like things are moving really fast. The IT industry is moving really fast. From GC standpoint, it is our role and responsibility to make sure we bring the best platform where the vendors and the entire IT community and the end user come together and share their pain points and address at the same time. This year roadshow is very special because we are in our 10th year as well. So we are celebrating each and every roadshow in a big way. And guess what? I'm sure most of our the participants they knew about the last year grand success which we had in the finale in Thailand, but this year we are doing it in Azerbaijan in Baku, which is in September 17th, 18th, and 19th. So stay tuned and all the best to all the participants. Many congratulations to all the winners in advance. And finger crossed. So hope the best out of you join us in Baku. Thank you.
Next up, we have the opening keynote presentation by Mr. Shoyinka Shutunka, the CIO of MTN Nigeria.
Good day, distinguished colleagues and esteemed guests. My name is Shoyinka Shodunke, and I'm the CIO for MTN Nigeria. It is an honor to be here today amid a profound technology revolution, a junction where the pace of change isn't just fast, but it's quite exponential. And despite our diverse missions, we find very common ground in one fundamental pursuit, which is creating immense value at an unprecedented pace to achieve our transformational goals. At MTN, our overarching ambition is to brighten the lives of our customers. It is to make this possible, we understand that our influence must transcend beyond the confines of traditional telecommunications. There are numerous market and business imperatives nudging us towards this metamorphosis. However, the heart of the matter is seizing the exponential opportunities that exist with us today. And these opportunities will be unfolding before us to generate exponential value for our customers and also for our stakeholders. Today, my intention is not only to share our journey and insights, but it is to actually inspire you to restructure your organizations as well. To urge you to harness these exponential opportunities, and in doing so, set the stage for an exciting era of growth and innovation. I'm inviting you on this journey to come explore the fascinating landscapes with us. What I'm going to be presenting today is Metamorphose, a project which is our BSS transformation into the digital age. So the program was actually carefully crafted and named Metamorphose, which is our BSS transformation into the digital age. At MTN, our primary goal is to enhance our customer lives by creating the best and digital customer experience, which aims to deliver delights to our customers. And this vision, it requires evolving beyond our traditional telecommunications to a technology company by using cutting-edge technologies. And these technologies must revolutionize our customer interactions, our services, and the platforms and the market influence in which we're going to create. This metamorphosis signifies a deep-seated transformation at the core of our operations, particularly in our BSS and our support systems. So my aim is not just to share our transformation journey and insights, but with this presentation, I would attempt to inspire and to take advantage of the opportunities before us to actually position our organization for innovation and exponential growth and development. So how do we want to embrace this change? It's actually a shift towards becoming an exponential company. So first of all, our technologies must remain ahead of the curve. As technologists, we must be ahead of and try to imagine what will be coming. So we must understand and leverage new paradigms to navigate the changing world. And to do that, we have to do deeper collaboration between business and technology. Opportunities exist to us today, and those opportunities are quite vast, such as scalable infrastructure, leveraging our assets, and then engaging our communities, pulling crowd power together, algorithm development and deployment, and intuitive interface design. We must do rapid experimentation and autonomy and other emerging technologies. These are all factors enabling companies to perform 10 times better than just 5 years ago. At MTN, we're transiting from a traditional telecommunications company in which we were limited in the number of services we could offer. We're actually transiting ourselves into a tech hub. So at MTN, our transitioning from telecommunications provider is an exponential one, which is seeing us to become a technology company, with a vision to not only transform our customers, but also empower developers with enabling platforms and capabilities and bring them all into this ecosystem with us to help us build the new digital Africa. Our evolution extends beyond simply facilitating calls and messages, which was what was obtainable with telcos, but embracing an era of exponential opportunities. By harnessing all these forces together, we present this plethora of opportunities for both our customers and also for developer community. This transformation, while inevitable and necessary, it presents unique challenges, particularly in our market, which we're prepared to tackle and to become a technology powerhouse. But these are not just things that are not fraught with challenges. So there are pain points and challenges facing CIOs in emerging markets. One of those challenges is the ongoing brain drain, in which is referred to as a Japa syndrome in Nigeria. This syndrome has seen talented workforces being drawn to much more advanced markets for better compensations and obtainable remunerations. Now, retaining these homegrown talents and fostering local competitive tech landscape is essential if we want to get to where we want to become. And it is becoming essentially and increasingly difficult to do. Now, the relentless pace of technology change presents additional hurdles. The rate at which technology changes, it creates its own hurdles, and the need for us to constantly upskill and adapt to keep up pace with incessant emergence of new technologies. We have to look at methodologies, new methodologies. We have to embrace new platforms. And technologies such as 5G, AI, ML, they require constant learning and relearning and skillful adaptations as well. Security is a key challenge as well. Our it's a fundamental or a baseline in which we need to consider because of the new sort of services that we're transiting into. So as our network footprint expands and reliance on digital technology deepens, vulnerability to cybersecurity threats and their impact increases. Securing our network in today's interconnected world is not just a technical challenge, but it is a business imperative. Despite the seemingly enormity of these challenges, they also possess challenges, and they present opportunities. And much like a skilled sailor in a storm, we must approach and leverage these wins to change and to innovate and to transform and rise above these challenges. The theme of this conference, which is Rise to Power, it actually resonates with us. It embodies MTN's determination to overcome challenges. It actually presents what we have also captured in our Ambition 2025, which is going to see us transit from a telco to a techco, of which we're in our third year of transitioning. It also embodies the rise. It also embodies the ascent of Nigeria and Africa as a whole, marking their places on the global tech stage. On an individual level, Rise to Power denotes the transformation of careers through the creation of exponential value, leading to broader transformation of organizations in the African continent. And despite these significant challenges, unprecedented opportunities exist to innovate and overcome hurdles. The use of exponential technologies like AI, automation can strengthen cybersecurity defenses and optimize our engineering processes and reimagine staffing strategies. Organizations, particularly corporates like ours, we need to allocate resources and invest in technology. MTN continues to actively invest in technology in Nigeria and Africa, further assuring the realization of our rise to power. Rising to power isn't just metaphorical for us, it signifies actively navigating technology challenges, leveraging their power to propel us towards a brighter and a bolder future. Our Metamorphose program is to transform and to transition our business support systems to enable us offer much more personalized and customizable experience to our customers and our enterprises. And to do this, we've actually brought in forces together, which includes our digital customer lifecycle management, one customer data, ensuring that all our customer data are actually correlated into one single storage. Our catalog-driven management, which ensures that we present one single interface for all products and services across the enterprise, irrespective of the product, whether it is coming from a third party or it is coming to us, and presents the opportunity to actually bundle the services together. Our deep packet inspection, which allows us to better know our customers and to offer better services to them, and analytical opportunities as well in terms of consolidation, all these things on our platform, which is referred to as EVA. Our order-driven catalog management centralizes and streamlines our catalog and order management. It actually empowers teams with tools for product bundling, configurable products, enables us to be able to set up our journeys real time, presents real-time shopping cart management, as well as order tracking. These were features in which were completely absent within the telco space. But with the sort of services that we will be rendering, this is quite important and necessary for the new BSS. The order-driven catalog manager is one of the key components we will use in driving the journey from a telco to a techco. It allows us to be able to bundle services, whether they are services or they're third-party services, bundle them together in a data-centric world. This is at the core of transforming our customer experience. Our digital lifecycle management is leveraging our big data capabilities, using artificial intelligence and analytics to provide a unified customer interface. It allows us to enhance our user journeys, facilitating our 360-degree customer view, allowing us to properly understand our customers and to be able to serve them better. Allows us to track agent performance and manage the customer lifecycle better. Our digital lifecycle is how we achieve omni-channel experience. And this is quite key, and in terms of how we're going to be able to deliver more choice and autonomy to empowering our customers. It's going to allow us to consolidate our customer data and help us understand the customer holistically and create more relevant content and context to drive immersive and engaging interactions. With our one customer data, it consolidates all our customer data into a central hub, eliminating duplications and redundant data, allowing for deeper knowledge and insights into our customers, and even the speed of insights that we're able to get from customers, rather than a siloed approach where we're actually going into different customer data platforms to be able to understand the customer. This allows the centralization of customer data in one place. And it aims for a seamless transition from customer lifecycle management to a digital version of customer management. Our project ACE, which is still under the Metamorphose program, it allows us to monetize our data insights far much better, both internally and externally, and allows MTN to safely monetize data assets while creating new experience for our customers. With deep pocket inspection comes enhanced customer support and insights. This allows real-time data streaming and decision-making across enterprise systems. The technology exponents that we will be employing with this are the generative AI, such as ChatGPT, blockchain, virtual and augmented reality, our 5G, which was launched last year, Metaverse, which is at an advanced stage of development and use at the moment, automation using our RPA tools, innovation, which is part of our fabric, and our rapid experimentation with the sort of structure that we've created for ourselves, which we're employing agile deployments. Our Ziggy, which is our super assistant, it's at the fingertip of our customers today. Now imagine a tool for managing basic airtime and data needs, which is a powerful assistant that enhances the everyday lives of our customers. We're actually in the process of supercharging our Ziggy with large language models today, far beyond what I just explained right now, which was for basic airtime and data needs. And we're integrating into models like ChatGPT, which we're going to use in transforming it into a much more powerful, versatile assistant with near real human-like conversational interface. This way, a Ziggy can help resolve issues, offer advices, and even become a more integrated part of our customer lives. In closing, I'd just like to say that our journey since 2001, we have been dedicated to driving transformation to continuously deliver value and exceptional customer experiences. As we gaze into the future, we find ourselves on the verge of truly revolutionary era. With the introduction of 5G technology and advancement in AI and ML and more, we're actually propelling ourselves forward from being a traditional telecommunications company to becoming a leading edge technology enterprise. And this sits very much in the heart of the vision in which we have defined for ourselves and for our Ambition 2025 program from the group. Our purpose extends beyond more service provisions. We are actively shaping experiences. We're building platforms, we're managing ecosystems, and we're unlocking boundless opportunities for everyone. Thank you.
Now we have a panel discussion titled CIO Leadership Panel, The Rise of the Power, moderated by Mr. Jayakumar Manochandran, Research Head of CAS.
Good afternoon, everyone. So this is Jay here. I'm the research head for CAS based out of Dubai. And today we have a very interesting panel, which is a CIO leadership panel based on the theme, the rise of power. And as we all know, it's not at all a secret that the CIO role has changed a lot over these years. And we have been evolved from focusing on infrastructure, help desk, operational efficiency, and today it's firmly rooted in technology, strategy, and growth. And more than that, we all contribute towards revenue. More of the C-suite and boards are looking at IT as a value creator rather than just an operator. To support and propel IT as a value creator today and into the future, CIOs must need to have new competencies, and that's what we'll be discussing today in this wonderful panel. So with me today, we have a very interesting panel, which has got an eminent panelist ranging from, so I'll call out the names for each and every one so that all the audience knows that who's there in the panel. So we have Gerald Luke. So you can just, raise your hands so that people know who is Gerald. And he is the Chief Information Officer of Kaduna State Government. We have Ayoji Jagde. He's the Information Technology Operations and MIS Reporting Manager for Providus Bank. We have Adlua Akomolafe. He's the Chief Information Officer for Wema Bank. We also have Steve Uma here. He's the Head of Information Services and Technology for NSIA Insurance Limited. We have Dominic, which is the Head of IT Department in Associated Battery Manufacturers, ABM Group. Welcome to this wonderful panel, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
So the format is, there are 3 questions which we have on this topic. As I mentioned, I'll be asking these 3 questions to each one of you. Let's go through it. The first one, as we discussed, the CI role has changed a lot. So what do you think, what are the non-negotiable skills for successful technology leaders in this age that helps them to fortify the strategic role in the organization? Maybe building strong, resilient teams and cultivate loyal clients, etc. What do you think? Maybe we'll start with Gerald.
The first non-negotiable from my experience is cultivating your clients, cultivating your stakeholders, most especially when you're in the public sector in Africa, which has tended to be, that space has been a bit of a laggard. So there's all sorts of viewpoints, dispositions towards technology. So your job really is a confidence builder, and you have to engage. You don't expect everybody to automatically get it. So that's for me is a non-negotiable engagement.
Brilliant. So the next, I think we'll move on to Adlua. So what do you think, Adlua, in terms of the non-negotiable skills, according to you?
Okay, thanks for that. I guess I'll relate that to what we've seen lately in our space with the way people move around, immigration, people leaving the country and all that, and there's a dearth of talent in the system now. What I believe is non-negotiable is that skill to identify the right talents, get the right people for the job, and also having the right behaviors and ways of interacting with those people to keep them in your business. Identify the talent and being able to retain the talent. That's extremely key in the climate we find ourselves these days. Thank you.
That sounds very brilliant. I think both the points goes hand in hand. You should be able to kind of identify the talents, and you should be able to retain that. So that goes without saying. So what do you think, Dominic, from your perspective?
Thank you. Yeah, so for me, what is non-negotiable for a CIO today is the forward-thinking aspect. Today, the business has been disrupted. I think we had a lot of learnings, specifically when we had COVID-19. So as a CIO for any organization, you need to be forward-thinking in terms of what solutions, how do you enable the business to be able to get markets both within locally and even regional, depending on the products that you have. But that aspect of somebody who is always forward thinking in terms of looking at solutions that will enable the business to be able to reach the customers. The customers today have completely changed. They're very impatient customers today that we have. So it's a customer that basically needs IT to be continuously looking for solutions that is able to enable the business to reach out and be able to tap into any new market or existing market. It's a competitive world, and I think we have a lot of learnings. So as a CIO, the traditional CIO of maintaining servers is already gone. So somebody who is forward thinking and looking at solutions that customers can be able to access it from say from their mobile phone, basically digitally. So that is my contribution. Thank you.
Brilliant. I think you nailed it. I mean, the impatience of today's business is something which is very, very quintessential. I think we all know that as technology leaders, this is something which we are all facing. Everybody needs something yesterday. I mean, they have the requirements, and agility is going to be the key going forward. And if we are not able to kind of drive things in an agile manner, obviously it is going to be very, very difficult. Brilliant, brilliant. So what do you think, Steve, from your perspective on the same topic?
Oh, thank you very much. I would say strategic vision is very critical because as an IT leader, we are not supposed to be reactive to situations, rather we are supposed to be proactive. So in terms of strategic vision, if you are a visionary, it helps you because you are able to envisage, a target situation and strategically prepare for a set of actions that can help you mitigate something that would, become or could become a disaster. What do I mean by this? So if you are a strategic visionary as an IT leader, you're able to position your company, you're able to articulate a strategy, a workable strategy that can elevate the current situation of the company to a target situation, to a target state. Based on what you have been able to forecast, you would have strategically planned for situations that may arise and how to prevent reoccurrence. Another thing that I consider very critical is collaboration and relationship management. All of these strategies we are talking about cannot be implemented successfully without collaboration with stakeholders. So, these are some of the characteristics that I consider quite important. Thank you.
Great. I think strategic vision goes without saying that without having a strategy and a vision, we will not be able to drive anything. And the other thing which you said about the collaboration, again, that goes hand in hand. If you're not able to collaborate well with your stakeholders and bring them along with your vision, then probably we'll be going in two different directions. So, I mean, another important dimension is about the role of CIO moving from, purely from a cost center towards a value creator kind of thing, So we'll come back to that point shortly. But again, going back into the last panelist, JG, from your perspective, what do you think, would be the most non-negotiable in the same context?
All right, hi. Thank you very much. And for me, I think it's adaptability, right? In the tech space today, there are way too many changes happening fast. Before you wake up tomorrow morning, there's a new innovation that you and your company needs to catch up on. A lot of companies today don't use physical services anymore. They are moving to cloud services, right? A lot of people already have a business unit, a business analytics unit, a data analysis unit, because trend is moving towards using data to drive business decisions. So your ability to adapt and be ahead of and be one step ahead of every competition in terms of market changes and new technologies coming out is very, very important. And I think it's key to the role of any CIO in any organization at all. Once you're able to stay one step ahead of the competition and of the market, I think you'll be able to make out very, very amazing products for your company and every other person.
Brilliant. I think That sounds. I mean, if you look at the entire answers from this first question, I think we have been able to cover almost all those critical components that are required for us to move into a profit center kind of a role, or a value creator kind of a role. So I think it's very, very important, and I think the role of a technology leader now is in the boardroom, where more and more organizations and the management has started speaking to us in terms of compared to the older days where they used to speak more with finance. It doesn't mean that finance cannot help, but at the same time they realize that fact that we are able to kind of create a lot of value more, and that's the reason why all these things are becoming non-negotiable. So going into the second question, probably just want to understand a little bit in terms of how diversity and inclusion is taking place in your respective organizations, and do you really see emotional intelligence? Again, that's a brilliant answer which somebody has shared over here in terms from a non-negotiable value, and collaboration and relationship building as well. So if you look at the emotional intelligence concept, what do you think its role in diversity and inclusion, and how do you see diversity and inclusion that's happening in your respective organizations? In this case, if I may start with Adlua, what do you think in case of Wema Bank? How is it happening?
Okay. As we know, obviously, diversity sort of brings conflict. People have different opinions about things, and it's important that we manage these varying opinions. People have different skill sets and beliefs about how things have to be done. So emotional intelligence comes into place then when you are able to constructively manage these different thought processes. Don't let's call them conflicts. It's basically people with varying ideas and everyone trying to get their ideas across. If you think about it, that there are loads of innovation and changes going on these days, and you're looking at innovation from different divide. The business wants something done, tech is looking at it in a different way. The executives want things done faster and at the least cost. So you have different temperatures you need to keep at a certain level. So it's important that we're able to deal with all these varying issues, different people, different attributes, in a respectful and inclusive way. All ideas have to be brought on board. This needs to be laid out in the open, and someone needs to manage all that process. And again, that's another skill that a CIO needs to have and build on and imbibe. It's important you're able to look at varying ideas, deal with different sets of people, and actually you even have external parties you have to interact with outside of your own environment. Today, I work in a bank. Most banks deal with a lot of fintechs that are faster, more nimble. They want to get things out like every other second. You're working in a more regulated environment, but you've signed agreements that you need to adhere to. So all that diversity that might cause things that looks like conflict, emotional intelligence from the CIO's part needs to come into play. You need to deal with people respectfully. You need to also be knowledgeable about what you're talking about, so you also have their respect, so they're able to listen to you. And it's all just inclusive at the end of the day. You need to bring people together and ensure you are working towards a goal that you're able to clearly articulate and show to the different stakeholders. Thank you.
Great. I think, there is no better way than to put this, thank you for that answer. Articulating how we call a conflict as an innovation or a different thought process, that's a brilliant way of articulating it. And, as you rightly mentioned, emotional intelligence is very key, or, for that matter, the way which we should be able to kind of manage those situations is something which is very, very important. So I think brilliant answer, Adloa. Thank you so much for that. So, Dominic, what do you think? How do you see this is happening in the ABM group? Do you have D&I as a policy? And do you think that emotional intelligence plays a key role when you have more and more diversified people within your organization?
Yeah, I think Adeloa has actually has put it correctly. I think he has, I'm not sure even what to add, but I think he has rightly explained. Maybe the only thing which I would add is within the aspect of diversity. For example, here within, I will give an example like what we have here is the different cultures. For example, as ABM Group, we have presence in about Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. So you have different types of people you are dealing with. So a lot of you have to really employ a lot of emotional intelligence to be able to deal with different types of team. You have different teams, different cultures. And I think even to add on maybe something that Adeloa maybe could have missed was, you see, today we have this generation called Gen Z. So these are the generations that actually, I think, for me, I think these are the teams that have really juggled my mind in terms of their thought process, in terms of their today, even if you are hiring a new resource, for example, and is in that generation, you sell to him, for example, why they should be able to work with the organization. You sell them some of key things like say benefits. They don't really care. Then they just want what is their net pay. Issues, even you see the way they change completely in the way they even respond to emails. They are moving away completely from the formal way of the traditional of us who have been working. The other aspect is, so really their thought process and the way they view of life. And of course, a number of also them is prefer remote working. Again, comes another problem because you want to see the person do the work. So all that, again, as a CIO, you need to have a really a balanced way of managing all these teams. You have a lot of consultants here in between. And all of these teams, you need to support them or basically collaborate with them for you to be able to excel. So that is my conclusion. Thank you.
Great. I think managing the Gen Z itself is an art. I think that's another non-negotiable skill which we all need to learn. I think we all have our own kids, who has grown up and coming to that level. And probably if you need to start selling, there is a saying right now, first you need to start selling and learning how to sell it to the Gen Z, and you should be able to kind of do it to others in a much better fashion. So I think very well answered that, Dominic. So JG, in terms of your side, probably how do you see this within Providus? How is this happening? Do you see that a lot of D&I is there, and probably that's something which is you keep that as a pillar, for driving initiatives within the organization? How do you see this?
Okay, so within our organization, I would break emotional intelligence into like 6 different parts that I think I've observed. I think every CIO, every managerial level staff would need to have a high level of these skills to be able to manage his group of people. First of all, is empathy and understanding. And this is literally just understanding the different experiences, perspectives, and different issues that the people that work under you might face. The next is effective communication. This is being able to explain knowledge that you want to pass across, ask questions, and interact with your guys. Understand where they are, have the sensitive conversations with them, and know where you want to move your team forward towards. And the third is building relationships and trust. It's very, very difficult to work with someone you don't trust, and it's difficult to work under someone you don't have a very good relationship with. So emotional intelligence allows the CIO to build strong relationships with everybody under him and above him, and even with external people, so that you're able to move your team and move the company forward. On the fourth scale is conflict resolution and collaboration, inclusive decision making, and creating inclusive policies and practices. I think anybody that is able to look through all of these 6 attributes and can perform each of them to a very high level, say is very emotionally intelligent. And I can tell you for a fact that to a large extent, I've seen roots of all of these things play out in my organization and in how we interact in here. So I think it's very, very key, and it's important that every managerial level staff and CI is highly emotionally intelligent so as to move your company forward and to keep ahead in terms of their financial skills and advancements.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. I think you really summarized it. So there's nothing more to add from my side. Gerald, so what do you think? How is this happening within Kaduna? I mean, you are from a public sector, and what do you think? Is there a lot of D&I centered policies that are there? And from your perspective, does emotional intelligence play a key role in this whole process?
Yes, it does. I mean, it comes back to again, we were talking about collaboration and engagement. So that it's a. I think for me, it's a different facet of the same conversation. Emotional intelligence guides how you relate, how you engage, your collaboration and relationship building. Now, we're talking about Gen Z, so it's actually almost like a generational clash in the public sector. Because you have other civil servants who've been in their positions for upwards of 20 years, 30 years, and you have some 28-year-old person who is breaching, as far as they're concerned, all known civil service protocols to come and engage with them. So so for the Gen Z and even maybe even millennials, it's about if you're good enough, you're old enough. For the average civil servant, you're good enough only if you've been here for 20 years and above. So how do we get these two people? The Gen Z IT pro is the service provider. Okay, the standard civil servant is the customer, the service consumer. For us, the experience we had, I'm sorry, just a point of note, of course, I've just left Kaduna State about 4 weeks ago at the end of the administration. But for us, I know we're going to come to this at one stage or the other, but COVID was a pivotal moment. People had to work. And for people to work, it's like you say, you want to engage a doctor. When you're in pain, you're not looking at the doctor, whether the doctor is young or old. You can say, no, I don't want to see this doctor. She's too young or he's too young for me. But as the pain lingers and grows, you're going to say, okay, where is that boy? Can I please give him a chance? You're not begging to be attended to. So COVID did that for, building those relationships, giving a chance, understanding the different generations, in terms of emotional intelligence, as you put it. So yeah, it's been an interesting dynamic.
Great. I think again, very well summarized. Thank you so much, Gerald. So Steve, what's your perspective on this? If you could just quickly summarize.
Okay, thank you very much. I think emotional intelligence plays a very significant role in diversity and inclusion because as an IT leader, you have to be sensitive to the demands of the environment. Okay, let me just give you an example. There is something called ESG parameter, which most investors now take very seriously in terms of wanting to invest in a company. The ESG parameters consider environmental, social, and governance factors. Okay, so inclusion and diversity fall under the social factors. How well is your organization paying attention to inclusion and diversity? So I would say that most organizations are now beginning to establish a ratio, what you may call male to female employee ratio, and they track it from time to time to be sure that if they said it's going to be 50-50, they are still maintaining 50-50 as the case may be. The same thing with vendor engagement. I would like to summarize in the words of a famous American poet, Maya Angelou, and she said that people will forget what you said, they will also forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And that's where emotional intelligence comes in.
Brilliant, Steve. Brilliant. I think that goes without saying. End of the day, nobody's going to remember like how and why and all that stuff, but how you made them feel is something which is very, very important. So I think, gentlemen, you have been fabulous. Brilliant answers. So I think in the interest of time, I think we are running short of time with this panel. So we'll go into the last question. Maybe I'll ask everyone. You can just quickly answer it in one word or one sentence as quickly as possible. I think majority of the CIOs believe the role is becoming more digital and innovation focused. Do you think your role has now become a change maker, slightly higher than the previous years? What do you think? What do you think, Gerald? Maybe I would start with you.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. The role of the CIO, somebody alluded to saying CIO was under finance. The CIO was always buried, sometimes 4 levels lower. Today, the CIO has a seat at the table, and not just having a seat at the table, is looked upon for guidance. A conversation, a strategic conversation, is not complete without people looking at the CIO and says, "Can we find out what the CIO thinks, or can we look to the CIO to help us navigate the way into the future?" Because at the end of the day, with the whole media, the availability of media, no organization, I think that was where we started from, no organization wants to be left behind. And the role of technology is right there in every facet of human endeavor. So the CIO, aptly titled your theme here, the rise of the power. That's what it is.
Brilliant. What do you think, Agluwa, in your perspective? Do you think that has become more of a change maker in these years?
Well, definitely with the pace of technology, digital transformation, almost every decision is data driven these days, and you can only get that using technology. So there's really very little that can be done without the input of the CIO. Like Gerard mentioned, the CIO has a table on the board even these days, and their voice has to be heard. So it's put the CIOs out there where most organizations are tech driven, and that's the way forward. Technology is driving the world these days, and the CIO has become the one everyone looks up to ask, where are we taking our next strategy to? There's an organization that would today come up with a strategy that is not driven by technology, and that's put the CIO out there as the biggest change agent for the organization, and the CIO has risen and is shining. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that's the theme of our panel as well. So, Steve, from your perspective.
From my perspective, I believe that the role of the CIO has become more of a change maker, and it's basically driven by the day and time that we find ourselves in. What I would say that has made the difference is the fact that the pace of digitalization is now more rapid than it was then, especially also helped by the COVID period. A lot of approvals that you would have taken to the board or to management as at 5-10 years ago, pre-COVID, are now, gaining the nod, so easily now. And that's actually what I mean by the acceleration coming faster. So it's not as if the role has changed, but it's just that a lot of organizations are beginning to gain consciousness, of the fact that it's more or less a case of it's either you innovate or you die.
Great, thank you. And Deji, from your side?
For me, the rate at which we have technology embedded into our lives, it's very, very important that we always have to run to those that understand how these technologies work to help us make informed decisions. So it's very understandable where companies these days run to their CIOs when they want to make very, very major strategic decisions, because it may or mar the company, in the sense that one wrong decision, you are having to do a whole lot of PR management and all of that. So with the current advent of technology and the role of the CIO in all of this, it's very, very important that they are given as much power as possible to be able to show themselves, right? And also be very, very much informed in that decision-making process. Because with tech, you can do and undo. With tech, you can take your company from 0 to 500. With tech, you can be the next big thing in the world today. So the CIO has to use his knowledge and technology available to improve customer service, use data analysis to make informed decisions, look for new technologies to try and automate previously monotonous tasks, and also try and come up with new products for the company regarding what the business strategy is. So I think with all of this, with the rise of the power in CIO is only going to get bigger, and we hope that this is just the start.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And Dominic, so shoot your answer.
Yeah, sure. So I think Gerald rightfully put it. Even if you see today in most organizations today, you see the way the traditional where IT used to report to finance. I think that now is changing in most organizations. IT now reports to the MD itself, the MD position. Based on, I think, for me, if you ask me, the role has evolved because of the value that the business has seen in IT. If you have also, but I think it is a catch-22. Any IT leader also must also show value to the business, as opposed to the traditional way of giving things to business that this is how we are doing. That has completely transformed. If you have an IT that communicates value to the business, that I believe to any business leader, be it from the executive to the board, whichever, so long as they're able to see the value that this solution, for example, that you want to give the business is able to open up this market, it's able to grow revenue by this volume, that and then of course, to summarize over and above, the innovation part is the security aspect. Today, I think at the board level of any organization today, they discuss also the risk that also as you innovate, there's also risk that comes in. A lot of organizations have also lost a lot of money. So all that also is also looked at from the board level to make sure that also whatever is being innovated also has been put in the right measures to manage the risk that comes in place. So I think that projected IT leaders or CIOs to be at the heart of the business. Thank you.
Wow, what a way to culminate this panel. I think that adds a complete different dimension, and one topic which we didn't discuss throughout. But I think change is the only constant in our whole life. But at the same time, how can we do this in a very, very secured manner? As technology leaders, it's something which is very, very critical for us. I mean, all the values which we discussed is all very, very super critical, I would say. I mean, be it emotional intelligence, be it adaptability, agility, the strategic vision, the collaboration and relationship building, anything for that matter. But at the same time, how can we do this in a very, very secured fashion? That's something which is key. And I'm sure that going forward, we are making sure that we're cementing our roles within the board. We're making sure that we have a voice to be heard of. People are asking us more and more questions, and we make sure that we create ourselves or portray ourselves as a value creator rather than just a cost center. So I think that summarizes this whole panel. Brilliant work, gentlemen. I think I have not recently handled any single panel like this, which has been very, very brilliant. Thank you so much, everyone on this panel. Wonderful job. And, looking forward to our next edition. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we have the most awaited part of the event, which is the CIO Awards. This award celebrates and highlights IT leadership around the world. First up, we have the leader category, and our first and only winner in this category is Ayodeji Jagede with Providence Bank. Next up, we have the legend category, and the first winner we have is George Mensah with Consolidated Bank Ghana Limited. Our next winner is Emmanuel Morka with Axis Bank Ghana in the legend category. Also in the legend category, our next winner is Adionuga Akomolafe with Prima Bank. Next up, we're starting awards for the master category, and the first winner in this list is our opening keynote speaker, Shoyinka Shidunka with MTN Nigeria. Next winner in the master category is Samuel Dakura, First National Bank Ghana Limited. The next winner in the master category is NSIA Insurance Limited's Steve. Next winner is Francis B. Cheme with the American University of Nigeria. Last but definitely not the least in the master category is Zikaria Akinpelu with Unity Bank. Congratulations to all the winners. Before signing off, we have two special messages for the delegates viewing this event.
My dear friends, greetings from the US of A. It gives me great pleasure to speak to all of you, and I hope all of you can see me. So this is Venki Mahadevan, and I am here to talk to you about CAS. If some of you are still wondering what CAS is, CAS stands for CIO as a Service, of which we all are an integral part. When I say we, I don't mean me and they. I mean we, you and me, all of us in this room and outside of it, in the different regions. If you recollect, about a year back, or was it October, we launched CAS at the exotic location in Bangkok, when all of us had so much fun and we went on stage and spoke about CAS. We had some great feedback. We launched a platform, and as we speak today, the platform is ready to enroll all of us. So if we talk about CAS, and if you ask me what does CAS do, CAS is a technology revolutionary platform that has been formed with the purpose of delivering technology-enabled solutions at a better price, great quality, by the subject matter experts themselves. Who are the subject matter experts? You and me, my dear friends. Yes, it's you and me. These are CIOs, or we are CIOs who have spent our life 10, 15, 20 years working for large corporations and have implemented excellent solutions. So it's time for us now to take out our ammunition, use the same for delivering effective solutions to our clients. I'm so excited to talk to you about CAS because when we started, we were in so many minds and saying, will this work? Will this not work? So many of you in the room had questions about what do we do next? How does it go forward from here? And as we stand here today, I am very, very delighted to let you know that CAS has moved on, and we have not only done some good work in the UAE, but we are also doing some great work with some of you in Egypt. We just formed an office in Saudi Arabia of CAS. You're right. CAS Saudi Arabia was launched a fortnight ago, and thanks to my friend Meheneshi and the others who supported us. So it's been a great journey. We are now looking at doing some work in Qatar. We are looking at talking to some partners in India. And I am right now in the US, and we're speaking to somebody who will bring CAS to the US very soon. So there you go. We are already talking of 3 continents, 5 different countries, and some really exciting work that's on the forerun. So please join me and support this platform. Let's all get together and make sure that we actually make CAS happen. It is good for you, it is good for me, it is good for the community. The idea is to build an ecosystem that can take us to the next level. It is no longer about you as an individual, it's about all of us. We are talking to some great partners who have shown interest. They've already told us, let us know and we will be on board. So I am, like other friends of mine, a very proud member of CAS, and I will continue to be. Let's take CAS to the next level and make it one of the most revolutionary platforms that the world has ever seen. So welcome to CAS, and here we go. Fasten your seatbelts and let's have fun, my dear friends. See you soon when we meet next time. Bye-bye.
Hello, friends. Today I'm here to introduce you RAS, which is nothing other than Research as a Service. So I'm sure that you are all very familiar with CAS, which is CIO as a Service, and we were all very excited to be a part of that. So RAS is nothing other than research division of CAS. And what it does is we create content which is fueled by experts for the experts. So how we work, we have various different models. We work directly with end customers. We work with partners to find out what their end customers really need out of any particular product or service. We also work with major principals to analyze their market sentiments, the go-to-market strategy, feedback about any of the product or services, so on and so forth. And how it differentiates, it's because you and me are a part of that. We are the ones who will be driving this research rather than any generic crowd who will be doing or who will be a part of this research. So basically, there will be vertical heads. We'll have CIOs or technology leaders who is ranging from every single industry that we talk about. And we'll have project managers who will be coordinating these researches based on the requirements. And we'll have analysts who will be writing the white papers, preparing and collecting the data points and preparing the outputs and the reports based on the research, what we do. So that's something which is very, very exciting. And we look forward to have a complete experimental and simulated data collection model by using automated tools and processes by which our data collection will happen across different levels of the industry. We offer complementary support for all our customers who come to RAS, and there will be a single point of contact for all the research or market strategies. We have a very focused approach. We have special interest groups that focused on each industry, and basically to ensure that the content what we create will be more precise. We also have a well-architected framework by which the industry standard research contents are created based on the customer needs that helps for immediate consumption. So that's it all about RAS. My dear friends, here we go, and welcome you all to RAS. Thank you so much.
Last but not the least, let's hear from GEC Media Group's global head, Anushri Dixit, for some last closing remarks.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the delegates who have joined online with us for the World CIO 200 West Africa today. First of all, I would like to thank all the speakers and panelists who made this edition so fantastic with their inputs and their thoughts. And yes, like as my colleagues have been saying, we are in the second edition of the World CIO 200. We were in Morocco as the flag of edition, and we are in West Africa today. And the tour is going to 50 countries in 2023. Like I'm sure all you delegates who have been a part of this journey of a global CIO forum know very well, like how we started the whole concept of the World CIO 200. So this would not have been possible without the support and participation of all the people who have joined us today. We are extremely happy to be in West Africa today. And this has been really a great addition for us. And we do look forward to seeing, like many of you who have been a part of the speaking and who will be a part of the winners today for the grand finale. And once again, I would like to repeat how the whole concept of the grand finale works. After completing the 50 country roadshow, we would be having a grand finale, which would be held in Baku in Azerbaijan, which will be on September 17th, 18th, and 19th. So do mark your calendars for that, wherein the top and selected CIOs from the participating countries, they will be flying in. It will be an all-expense paid trip for the CIOs. And this 3 days will be for absolute fun, networking, and peer-to-peer partnership. The whole concept of Global CIO Forums, World CIO 200, is to break the geographical barriers and to come together as a family and work towards a common goal. So with that, like once again, I would like to take this opportunity to thank one and all of you. The family has just been growing. Currently, we are in the 8th edition of the World CIO 200, and we could not be more happier than this. To see this community, like powering, and as the vision and as the theme of the World CIO 200 is rise of the power. It's all about this. We have been seeing that the more and more CIOs are taking up to the board positions. IT is no more just department in any organization. IT is the forerunner in all the business, and who better than a CIO to understand the needs of the business and like to take the business closer towards its goal. So on that note, let the power rise. We will shortly be back with you with more editions of the 2023. Till then, stay safe and have a good evening. Thank you, everybody.